Well, we've got this exhaust manifold and complete turbo assembly just about ready to lift off of the tractor. I did break this one stud where it goes down into the actual EGR cooler. We should be able to dig that out, and once we get this manifold removed, we should be able to get after this broken bolt on this back side. Pluck that guy out, put all our new studs in there and gaskets and all that crap, and then start putting everything back together. We're actually going to lift this off with the forklift, just so that we don't drop it on the floor. If you get around to taking all of this stuff apart individually, you end up breaking bolts here and there. Ask me how I know. I've done it. I've got to take this line here off yet. And that is going to be the last item that is attached to the unit. So we'll go ahead and get that off, put a strap around it, lift it off. Well, we have decided to use the gantry instead of the forklift. The gantry would be more of an accurate pick to get it off of there. Then we can just pull it over and bang, set it on the ground. Alright, so this bracket for the intercooler I'm going to have to take off as well. This line does not want to sneak out from in behind it, and I don't want to take it off back there because it's just going to be harder to put on. So we'll have to take this guy off, and then everything should come right out here. I have to take this line here as well off so that this can come out from there. All right, that is removed. Now what we'll do is we'll have to weld the nuts onto these studs, tap them with a hammer and pull them out of the head. And then this guy back here, we'll just have to, that's kind of deep, reach in there, put some weld on a nut, and try to get that pulled out of there. So that's what we'll do. Well, Jared has just rolled the crawler out the door. He's gonna actually put that in the front pit. We've been jumping all over the place. We've had a lot of interruptions today. I'm gonna drop some clips in now. We have been working on trying to get our manure pipe that goes from the one front pit down to the lower lagoon fixed. It is plugged. We did not get that job done, but I'm going to drop that clip in here now, and then when we come back to you, we'll explain what's going on in the shop here. Well, today's the day that we try to figure out why our manure line doesn't want to flow manure like it should. Got the lagoon down in front of us there, and this line comes across from the pit barn pit that's on the other side. Well, you can see that far barn over there, so it comes this way. We're hoping that we find the spot so we don't have to dig up any of this concrete. 2 excavators working the haul. O'Hara excavation.
was gonna say there's a big piece of shit lodged. What do we got? All right, there we go.
Back up to it again.
do that same noise, Richard.
Yeah, do that noise too.
Whatever's in the pipe, we're finding it. But where we put a... Okay, you got a duct tape right there.
Oh, that went right to the duct tape?
Alright, we are back with you guys from that little lagoon pipe, manure pipe excursion. And Sarah had worked on getting that 9560 washed yesterday. And Jared's gonna paint the 2 rear corner cab panels. I don't know why they do it, but they all do it on these articulated tractors. They go to a different color green. They fade out. We're gonna paint the rear fenders. There's some paint flaked off of those. And Alex is going around with it with some wax here now. So just trying to shine things up a little bit here, right, Sarah? Yeah. So that's what we're working on. We'll go up to the front pit. We'll watch that crawler work on pumping some or agitating some manure here. And then we'll come back down and dig some studs out of this tractor. I've only worked on this tractor for about 20 minutes at a time today. So we need to get this done. Well, here it goes. This will be the first time that this thing has actually been in cow manure. Prior to this, it's been in hog manure. So Jared has welded some brackets on to kind of protect the hoses so that they're not rubbing up against abrasive areas, because we have seen and had that problem with our other one. So what he's doing now is taking it into this barn pit here, and there's a tunnel that goes underneath the barn all the way across. And with the regular pit pump that is in there that we load spreaders with, or run the manure from, we can either load spreaders with this pump or run manure from here to the lagoon, which this line is plugged just down below this area here, just where it flattens out to go down over the next hill. He has on this one the gun on the front of it. This is actually the back of the machine here. The gun on the front of this one turns, whereas our other one does not. So he has modified some brackets so that it will turn on a 90-degree angle. Before it only ran, it only ran to about here, each corner about where that pipe was. What he wants to be able to do is get it to shoot down this tunnel so that he can agitate the manure underneath the barn so that it will flow out easier. You can kind of see they've been moving this manure down to the lagoon right now. You can kind of see there's some thick stuff that is still bridged up a little deeper than what we have outside here in this part of the pit. We got a pipe that's broken here. So once he gets down in here, he'll get it fired up. There's alley scrapers that are dumping, so we've got some water coming out. There's probably some wash down of the parlor going on too. So he has engaged the pump on the crawler. Must have hit the wrong switch. thick manure. That manure coming out of the front gun. You can see the manure pushing out through the back guns. He needs to get some of this water worked in there to get things flowing a little better. You can see it's kind of increasing the pressure because it is starting to work up that liquid. What he came into first thing was some real solid, thick, sandy manure that was on the floor. The pump is down below the base of the machine. It's up about 10 inches from the base of the machine. From this belly pack. Our other one has a remote that's about this wide, and it's probably from here to the gate top, fence top, long. Well, that stuff was thick at first. Open right now. Then there's guns. See that gun right there? There's one on each corner, all four corners. And when this is actually in the lagoon, it's floating. Right now it is able to drive on the bottom of this pit. But when it's in the lagoon, it's floating. You need a way to turn it. And you can either shift it side to side by opening up the guns on one side or the other, or if you want to turn it in a counterclockwise rotation, it'll open up two guns on opposite corners to make it go in a circle one way, and then you open up the guns on the opposite corners and it'll make it go in a circle in the opposite direction. These guns that are on the back propel it to either go forward or backwards. He's got them facing back right now. If this was floating in the manure, it would be going forward. Generally, when we have it in the lagoon, we'll have the back open and the front open, and we just kind of more or less keep the back almost straight up and down so that we're just barely creeping across the lagoon so that we can agitate it in a more slower fashion. So that'll give you an idea of how this thing runs. It's the same as our other one basically. There's a couple of improvements that this one has that the other one does not. And looks like we got a gun off of that pump over there. It probably froze in the manure and unbuckled the clasp. Alright, I'm going to get back down to the shop. What are you going to have him do? Well, this is where we are going to end this video. We have got everything ready to be reassembled. We had a couple of broken bolts to dig out. One of them was this back bolt here on the exhaust manifold. That took a little bit to get it out of there, but we managed to get it. There it is right here. Now, like I had talked about earlier, the original problem I seen was this bolt was sitting right here when I was unplugging this wire harness on this side here. I said, well, I know what that identifies as. And I see this bolt was broke out. Had I not seen the bolt there, I probably would not have noticed that stud being broken. So we'll have to clean everything up, install our new studs in the head, and then we'll just start reassembling. The first thing I'm gonna do is install this wire harness. I'll get that in there, get it laying in place so that, well, that'll be easier pushing them plugs through now than it will be after we get everything all together. So with that being said, that is gonna do it for this video. Jared's got some black pieces he's gonna paint here tonight. And he's going to paint these rear fenders on this 9560. So that's gonna do it, folks. Take it easy. And we will catch you at the next one.